The city of Brescia, the starting point of the Romanino Route, is home to numerous works by the famous Brescian artist. Starting from the church and the convent of San Francesco di Assisi, you can admire the altarpiece of the high altar with the Madonna and Child enthroned between two angels and Saints Francis and Anthony of Padua. In the vault of the apse, the fresco of Christ with the globe of the world, the Evangelists Matthew, John, Luke, and Mark, and the four church fathers. In the right aisle, the altarpiece represents the descent of the Holy Spirit. Finally, crossing the sacristy corridor, a fragment of what was once a fresco depicting the risen Christ emerges. Moving on to the church of St. John the Evangelist, we see how Romanino contributed to making the chapel of the Sacrament a prestigious place from an artistic point of view. There are scenes from the Old Testament, the Resurrection of Lazarus, St. Gregory's Mass, and the supper in the house of Simon the Pharisee, the prophets, and the Evangelists. On the left aisle, the Holy Conversion, depicting the Virgin with her son and Saints Martha, Onofrio, Antonio, and Rocco. In the baptistery, the marriage of the Virgin. Other works marking Romanino's passage to Brescia can be seen in the Old Cathedral and the New Cathedral. In the Old Cathedral, the panel depicting the fall of manna and water gushing from the rock are among the last works by the artist. In the New Cathedral, organ panels depict the marriage of the Virgin, the Nativity, and the Visitation. In another symbolic place of Brescian Christianity, the Church of Saints Faustino and Giovita, there is another work by Romanino, perhaps the only one of its kind. It is the banner made for the members of School of the Most Holy Sacrament, which had a fixed altar here. The canvas is painted on both sides and depicts the resurrection on one side and the Mass of Saint Apollonius on the other. In the heart of the old town, inside the San Cristo complex, we can admire the Last Supper in the refectory. A fresco from 1530, divided into 3 arches, shows the moment of the institution of the Eucharist. Other works by Romanino are preserved in the city's museums. In the Tossio Martinego Picture Gallery, there are several works by the Brescian artist. Canvases, fragments of frescoes, some of them from the Olivetan Monastery in Rodengo Saiano, and a wooden lectern made from inlays based on Romanino's design. Religious scenes from the New Testament, but also some male portraits. In the Diocesan Museum, a small painting of St. Jerome, a Madonna and a Child. The Avogadro altarpiece and the deposition of Christ between Saints Paul, Joseph, Mary Magdalene, and Catherine of Alexandria. The city stops on Romanino's route end in the church of San Salvatore, inside the San Giulia Museum. Here, to the right of the entrance, is the chapel built at the base of the bell tower, covered inside and out with the series of stories of Saint Orbizio.